Alright, gather round because this is a story about Hollywood hubris so potent it could make a Kardashian blush. We're diving into the glitzy, glamorous, and often absurd world of Tinseltown, where dreams are made and sometimes spectacularly shattered. It all starts with Jeffrey Katzenberg, a guy who, let's be honest, peaked with Shrek. Katzenberg, a man with a storied career in animation, was riding high on the success of the Green Ogre and his fairy tale friends. But like many in Hollywood, he wasn't content to rest on his laurels. He teams up with Meg Whitman, who after eBay, clearly had a thing for doomed ventures. Whitman, a powerhouse in the tech world, had seen her share of ups and downs. From her time at eBay to her stint at Hewlett-Packard, she was no stranger to the roller coaster of the business world. Together, they cook up Quibi, a platform that promised to revolutionize the way we consume content. Quibi, short for Quick Bites, was designed for the modern viewer, always on the go, always looking for the next big thing. Their big idea? Bite-sized shows for people with the attention spans of goldfish. In a world where everyone is glued to their phones, they thought, why not create content specifically for that medium? Short, snappy, and designed to be consumed in quick bursts. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's because TikTok already existed. TikTok, with its endless stream of short videos, had already captured the hearts and minds of millions. But Katzenberg and Whitman believed they could do it better, with higher production values and star power. But Katzenberg, blinded by his own brilliance, was convinced this was revolutionary. He saw Quibi as the next big thing, a game-changer in the entertainment industry. His confidence was infectious, and soon, the money started pouring in. They raised a cool $1.75 billion. Investors were dazzled by the promise of a new frontier in digital entertainment. With that kind of cash, they could afford to take risks, to push boundaries, and to dream big. Because nothing screams future of entertainment like a pile of cash bigger than the GDP of some small countries. They weren't messing around. This was Hollywood after all, where bigger is always better and excess is the name of the game. They snagged A-list directors and stars, promising them Emmys and Oscars. The allure of Hollywood's biggest prizes was too tempting to resist. Big names signed on, eager to be part of this bold new venture. Because nothing says artistic integrity like a desperate grab for awards. The promise of accolades was a key part of their pitch, a way to lure talent and investors alike. They even invented a word, quick bites. A catchy term meant to encapsulate their vision of short, engaging content. It was a marketing masterstroke designed to stick in the minds of potential users. Catchy, right? Just like New Coke. And we all know how that turned out. But in the world of Hollywood, sometimes you have to take a gamble, even if the odds are stacked against you. Quibi launched in April 2020, with much fanfare and anticipation. The brainchild of Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman, it promised to revolutionize the way we consume content on our phones. Remember April 2020? The world was in the throes of a global pandemic, and life as we knew it had come to a standstill. We were all locked inside, mainlining Netflix and stress-baking sourdough. Streaming services were our lifeline, providing much-needed entertainment and distraction. The perfect time to launch a mobile-only streaming service, right? Quibi thought so. Betting big on the idea that people would want to watch short, high-quality videos on their phones. Well, no. Turns out when you're stuck at home, binging on a giant TV screen is more appealing than squinting at a phone. People crave the comfort of their big screens and the communal experience of watching TV with family. Who knew? Apparently not Katzenberg. Despite his impressive track record in the entertainment industry, he misjudged the market's needs. He doubled down, blaming the pandemic for Quibi's woes. In interviews, Katzenberg insisted that the lockdowns and the shift in consumer behavior were to blame for the platform's struggles. Because when your billion-dollar baby faceplants, it's always someone else's fault. The reality was that Quibi's concept was flawed from the start. The reviews were in, and they were brutal. Critics and users alike panned the service for its lackluster content and confusing interface. The shows, despite the star power, were about as exciting as watching paint dry. Big names couldn't save poorly executed concepts and uninspired storytelling. And the turnstile feature, which flipped the video when you rotated your phone, it was touted as a groundbreaking innovation, more of a gimmick than a game changer. Users found it more annoying than useful, and it did little to enhance the viewing experience. In the end, Quibi's big swing turned out to be a monumental miss. See, Quibi was designed for a world where we're all constantly on the go. Remember commuting? Waiting in line for coffee? Good times. But in the age of lockdowns and sweatpants, their whole premise went out the window faster than your Zoom etiquette after month 3. Instead of adapting, Quibi doubled down on what wasn't working. They insisted their vertical videos were the future, even though everyone was watching everything horizontally. It was like they were trying to fit a square peg into a round hole using a very expensive diamond-encrusted hammer. Remember that whole mobile-only thing? Yeah, that was another stroke of genius, because who needs the ability to share your screen, watch with friends, or, enjoy content on a screen larger than your hand? It was like they were actively trying to make their platform as unappealing as possible. And don't even get me started on the inability to take screenshots. Because heaven forbid anyone shares a funny moment from one of their shows. It's almost like they didn't understand how the internet, or basic human interaction, works. Section 5. Ignoring the basics, price matters. Now let's talk about money. Quibi's subscription fee was a bargain. Just kidding, it was $8 a month, for what amounted to glorified YouTube videos. Meanwhile, you could get Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, and a whole year's supply of instant ramen for the same price. They even had the audacity to offer a cheaper ad-supported plan, because nothing says premium content like being bombarded with ads for things you can't afford. It was like they were actively trying to alienate any potential customers. Section 6. Did they even ask anyone? Here's a novel concept: market research. It's this thing where you ask people what they want before you spend billions of dollars on it. Apparently Quibi skipped that step, because if they had bothered to ask anyone, literally anyone, they would have known that their target audience, young people, were perfectly content with TikTok and YouTube. But no, Katzenberg and Whitman were convinced they knew better. They were visionaries, pioneers. They were going to revolutionize the way we consume content. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Section 7. The illusion of innovation. Look, I get it, innovation is important. But here's the thing, innovation for innovation's sake is just masturbation. It might feel good in the moment, but it doesn't achieve anything. And that's what Quibi was, a solution in search of a problem. They were so focused on being different, on being disruptive, that they forgot the fundamental rule of business: give people what they want. And what people want is good content at a reasonable price on a platform that makes sense. Quibi failed on all counts. Section 8. Vision without execution is hallucination. So what did we learn from the Quibi debacle? Quibi was a streaming service that promised to revolutionize how we consume media. It had all the ingredients for success: a star-studded lineup, billions in funding, and a novel concept. Yet, it failed spectacularly. Well, for one, money can't buy you everything. Despite having nearly $2 billion in funding, Quibi couldn't secure a loyal audience. The lavish spending on marketing and talent couldn't mask the fundamental flaws in its business model. It can buy you A-list celebrities, fancy offices, and the best marketing campaigns money can buy, but these are just surface-level attractions. They can draw attention, but they can't sustain it. And enough marketing to make your eyes bleed, but it can't buy you an audience. The audience is the ultimate judge, and they were not impressed. They found the content lacking and the format unappealing, but it can't buy you an audience. No matter how much you spend, if the product doesn't resonate with people, it will fail. Quibi's short-form content was not compelling enough to keep viewers coming back. It can't buy you good ideas. Good ideas are the backbone of any successful venture. Quibi's concept of quick bites of content was innovative, but it wasn't executed well. The content felt rushed and incomplete, and it certainly can't buy you common sense. Common sense would have dictated a more cautious approach, testing the waters before diving in head first. Instead, Quibi went all in without fully understanding their audience's needs. Quibi was a cautionary tale of ambition gone wrong, of hubris on a Hollywood scale. It serves as a stark reminder that no amount of money or star power can replace a solid, well-executed idea. Of hubris on a Hollywood scale. The belief that they could dictate what the audience wanted rather than listening to them was their downfall. They underestimated the importance of user experience and engagement. It was a reminder that vision without execution is just a hallucination. A grand vision is meaningless without the ability to bring it to life effectively. Execution is everything, and that sometimes the best ideas are the simplest ones. Simplicity often leads to clarity, and clarity leads to better execution. In the end, it's not about how grand your vision is, but how well you can execute it.